Alright, so I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. Ever since I made this video, the help I need ideas lol video, I decided and knew, if anything, that it was time to take a look at it, you know? So what I actually want to do is go through all the comments, letting everyone know that all their comments will not be in vain. Some people say, well, I read all the comments. I genuinely do that. It's not because I don't get that many comments. It's because I owe it to you guys who I asked for this help and you give me your most heartfelt replies. I feel like it's deserving to you all to actually have all your comments be read. Now, I did go in through and read a couple of them. I uploaded this video a couple of days ago and I immediately went straight to work. I read a couple of them when I was at work and so on, but since then I've got quite a few different comments since then. So what I wanted to do is to show you all and actually give you all my actual suggested ideas of what to go through, because usually what I do is I'll just comment on any of the comments there and give my opinions on them and whatnot, and then we just kind of go from there. But there's so many good ones that I really want to sit down and just talk to everyone directly about what their comment really and truly earnestly meant to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this video. Good video, by the way. Scoop some merch. Discount code DAC 2020 DAC 2020 at checkout for 15% off if you want to scoop any of this stuff. Nevertheless, it's not important, but what's actually important is the comments. So we're gonna go to the newest first and just scroll down from there. So let me see if I can actually zoom this in. I'm actually really bad at like post editing and such, so we're actually gonna see if I can bring that in. I guess that's more legible for you guys. Can we go even further? That should be quite legible for you all. Yes, okay, so we can see what I'm looking at here. Don't pay attention to all this on the side over here, but we over here. So Thread Infinite says 23 hours ago, he said, if you're considering checking out other games, I would recommend trying out Dragon's Dogma. It's pretty much like Monster Hunter. I think you would like it. Now, my man, I am glad that you recommended Dragon's Dogma. I played and beat Dragon's Dogma, not for the first time, but I finally completed it on stream, I believe, on Twitch. See, I don't usually like advertise my Twitch on my YouTube too often, and that's probably something I should really change about, or even I should start maybe streaming to YouTube more. I'm not entirely sure what we should do there, but I did play Dragon's Dogma. My only concerning issue with Dragon's Dogma is once you complete the main story and the extra stuff in the back, when you go in that one dungeon or whatever, there's not much left that I earnestly would like to do. The story, unfortunately, is incredibly linear to the point where once you go through it the one time, there is nothing else. Like, there's nothing, okay? It's not like Skyrim where you can do all these grandiose things and then maybe get to the story or whatever, or there's many different ways in which you could do it. Dragon's Dogma is very straightforward, and that's the point against it, but it's still a great game. So if you guys have never played Dragon's Dogma, I recommend you do so. I would want to play Dragon's Dogma again, but I wouldn't know exactly what to do with it per se, because usually with Monster and other video games that I actually make content for, it's usually a multiplayer focused experience, so that way I can actually teach and help or engage people with it a bit easier. But when Dragon's Dogma being a single player affair, some of these things can still apply, but I would have a bit more difficulty, if anything, making consistent content with something like that, because it is it's not necessarily like infinite. The possibilities are not infinite. It's quite finite, actually. The meta does not change, versus like something like Monster Hunter, the meta does change, and so on. Now, M. Guerrero, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm butchering anyone's names in here today. Every single monster tier list, then a subspecies one, maybe image lore, image speedruns, iceberg, I'm guessing iceborne videos are trending now. Wait, iceberg videos are trending now? So, iceberg video. We'll look at, hold on, I'm gonna write that down. Iceberg videos? Like glaciers? Iceberg videos. Ooh, whoop. Okay, so I wrote that down. I don't know if you can see it, that wall glaring and all that, but I wrote it down. Iceberg videos. Handwriting is terrible, but I can read it. It's legible enough for me to read. So anytime I see something noteworthy, I'll write it down on my Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I'm not paid by anybody. Let's continue. Excuse me. Deadly Kitten. Please do a MH Rise lore discussion. Like, what do you think the story is gonna be about, and what points do you? Wait, I'm sorry. What do you think the story is gonna be about, and what points to? Oh, I get it now. Like, that's what made it weird. It was kind of hard to read there. What points to what you think the story is gonna be about? I really love your vids. If you made a podcast, I love listening to it. Well, let's go to that last bit there. A podcast. I would love to no end to actually either host or take part in a podcast. I've always liked doing those. I was in 2 podcasts. I guest starred in one particular podcast, and I was actually co-owner, I guess you could say, of another. I quite enjoyed doing the podcast thing. That was actually a lot of fun. It'd be nice to actually run another podcast. I wouldn't necessarily know who to run it with. I don't know if I could run it by myself. Could you run a podcast by yourself? ? And if so, yeah, we could. The podcast isn't out of the question. Let's actually write that down. I'm a fan of the podcast, so we're gonna write the podcast down. Actually, I'll keep this note open so I can get all the things we're writing down, so that way I can keep it in my brain. Now, the MH Rise lore discussion. What do you think the story is gonna be about? Honestly, I don't have an inkling of an idea as what the story is going to be about. I couldn't even fabricate some kind of story to really give you guys a general idea as to what it could be about. When it comes down to Monster Hunter story is never a forerunner at all. Me personally, I don't genuinely care too much about the Monster Hunter story because it's never really something worth discussing or even worth paying that much attention to. To be very, very, very serious, the only Monster Hunter story that actually held any actual impact was the story from 4U. Not even World or Iceborne really held that much of a story, because World was, let's go do some research, and this thing showed up. And Iceborne was like, this thing showed up. Wasn't even doing the research anymore. I guess it was research, but it just didn't feel quite right. It didn't feel like an actual story. Whereas 4U, it was a globe-trotting affair. I think that's probably what it was. With 4U, it felt bigger than it actually was. Whereas Iceborne and World didn't really feel that big at all. I mean, you were in a bigger place, but you didn't feel like you were doing much because you weren't really going anywhere. I mean, you were, but you weren't. It's kind of hard to really explain, but the fact that the 4U game was a much smaller game, but it felt bigger because of how the world and everything worked and how the actual story led and connected together. I kind of feel like World didn't actually leap off from that. They kind of follow a lot of the same beats, but we're not really going to get into that too much. But just understand that the world that 4U had versus the world that World had, it seemed bigger because with World you were condensed to one singular location, whereas for you had the whole entirety of the old world versus the new world, which was for the most part just one continent. But another topic for another day. So my man Justin Hoven says, you missed some Monster Hunter from MSGU or solo some endgame monsters would be cool. Now I know what he's saying here. He may be the same gentleman who actually spoke to me on, I think, my Fatalis video. I have to go back and double check that. But I did miss some monsters from the from MHGU. So everyone knows I do the monster dex videos where I go through, record a video for every single monster, giving you all the ins and outs of everything. I actually stopped midway. I got a significant way into GU, but I fell off and didn't complete it in its entirety. There's only a couple more that I didn't do, and that I'm really thinking about it, because I'm pretty sure I got all the way to Bobby Digital but stopped. Now that I'm thinking, all that's left really is the Fatalis trio, the Deviants that I never actually got to. That's because I don't know if I can even make another really good Deviant like layout. Like the Deviants explain videos, those videos were phenomenal. That's actually some of my best work in terms of like YouTube scripting and things like that. A lot of the earlier ones were script. After a while I just kind of went off the cuff and just kind of went from there, but I do really think that those videos were quite special to me. We could go back and do that just to clean everything up. They can be sprinkled in. Usually I like to have things in purpose and things in line, but I wouldn't mind sprinkling them in along with like Rise videos as the Rise videos comes out, because Rise will take a 4-seat to it. We still have a couple of months, about a month and a half till Rise comes out, so things can actually work in between then and there. I could finally drop those Fatalis videos and maybe even start working on those Deviant videos or something like that. It wouldn't take too long. I've since played those monsters time and time again, so the research wouldn't have to be extensive, so it is actually a possibility. So let's actually write down finish GU. Okay, so moving to the next one. Omega Wario says, a few other people talking about reviewing older MH games, and I would agree that would be interesting. If you decide to do it and want a Gen 1 game, I would recommend Freedom on the PSP since it's literally a better version of the original. But if you just want to be a purist, then go for the true OG PSP version if you haven't tried. Now, funnily enough, I actually got my wings on the PlayStation 2 version of Monster Hunter. Long time ago, a friend of mine, a friend of the family, I should say, he actually had it, and I didn't know what it was until like years later. I went back, like, wait a minute, I remember playing this game at Rafer's house, you know what I mean? Not knowing it was actually Monster Hunter, really. But so I technically got started on the PlayStation 2 joint, but I really dug deeper in Freedom on the PSP. Now, I could go back and review those games. I don't know if I will, because my opinions are, oh boy, my opinions, that's all I have to say. Everyone knows my opinions are relatively controversial, and I don't think a lot of people would actually look for those type of opinions going back to the older games, because a lot of people would say that, oh, these older games are terrible, they're janky. I mean, yeah, they're janky, but they're all these bad things and almost no good except the fact that they laid the foundation, which I will come through and undermine everything everyone else has already said. And I'm not gonna say it wouldn't make for an entertaining video. It's not gonna do these things on purpose. It's just that it's probably what's going to happen, and I don't really think it's actually that great of a format, honestly. So what I'm probably gonna do is put that on like a maybe thing. I could go back and do it because the Gauntlet series we are going to run in its entirety. So there will be Gauntlet for Freedom. There will be a Gauntlet for Freedom Unite. Yes, I think I said that right. There will be a Gauntlet for Freedom and Freedom Unite, or just Freedom Unite. I can't remember which one had G rank. Whichever one had G rank is one we're going to do. I know Freedom Unite does ? But if not, then we'll probably still do both. I don't know. I'll get to talking with Valen on that. He is going to be the old school generation Monster Hunter kind of guy. I have to speak with him on it, so it's not out the books. It shouldn't take too long to do. Granted, it is a Monster Hunter game, so it's going to take more than just like 2 days to knock out, especially since it's an older one. It has a lot more jank to it, so it could be an extended affair, but we'll see. It could be something we do in the between time, something that I don't want to like completely knock off the book. So we'll do review original 2 generation games. Okay, let me write. Okay. Moving to the next one. Ooh, okay. EDDS said, I'd actually love to hear your opinions on Lance and Gunlance and Rise, since personally I'm trying to get better at them and I'm kind of struggling not having much experience on the World/Iceborne moveset, being that I came from GU. Okay. I did say no one would want to see that video of me giving my opinions on the Lance and the Gunlance and Rise. Honestly, I kind of did that for the lulz. I had every intention of making that particular video, those particular videos I should say. So for those of you who actually really want to see that video, just know that it is essentially a video that would come out. I would have had it out literally today as I speak, Sunday, January 24th, but yesterday I had a huge family emergency that I had absolutely dropped everything for, and I didn't get back to recording more audio for it. And since I'm doing this video today, and since today is also Sunday, which is Golden Sunday on my Twitch channel, where we go through and play Golden Sun, we're currently on Golden Sun 2, almost finished for that game, and that was a 5-hour stream. My time for today, as it stands, is a little bit limited, so I don't know if I'm going to really do a lot of work on it today. So we'll probably work on it throughout the remainder of the week, and then we'll probably get at least the Lance video out for you guys first, because it'll be the shorter one. The Lance video will be the shorter one because I have much more to say on the Gunlance video than I do on the Lance video. The Lance video, Lance itself hasn't really changed too much. It is sped up, but that goes across the board for all the weapons. We will talk about the new charging backhand though. We'll talk about that more. But the Gunlance, a lot more things changed with it than the Lance, so it's going to be a different speaking topic. If anything, so that way I don't sound like a greedy bastard, I might make both videos one video, but we'll see. Okay, moving over to Colt Gunner. He says, I am just a gunner. I do use Gunlance from time to time. I was thinking maybe if I was good enough or had more time in the series, I'll do a mindset of a gunner video. Perhaps you could do a mindset of a gun Lance video. I think it'd be very helpful. Since Rise is coming maybe a continuation of Monster Hunter Explain. I had a tough time reading this sentence. Since Rise is coming, comma, there we go. Maybe a continuation of your Monster Explained videos, MHR edition. Maybe comma, semicolon, something for Vest to brush up on. It would be nice for the newcomers. Not throwing shade, bro. Not gonna throw shade. It was just tough for me to go through this video, this question, excuse me, this sentence there. Anyway, speaking of newcomers, there's a new kid in town called Hey Jay. Looks like he'll be playing MHW. Maybe you can lend him a hand. Hey Jay. Okay, let's go look at Hey Jay actually. Copy. YouTube, open, click, new tab. Stuff is mad large. Hey Jay. Who is Hey Jay? Ladies from Hey Jay. Look at Hey Jay. So that's the man Hey Jay. Okay. So Jay, you can consider this a relative shoutout video if you would like to. I will still look into this. If you're watching, doubt you are, but if you are, hey, my name is Dak, and I'm willing to help and assist if need be. Okay. Now, going back to this video, mindset of a Gunlands video. If that is anything akin to the breakdown video of, I did 3 videos. They were all 4 videos called Way of the Dugga, which was Lance and Gunlance breakdown videos in greater detail. I could do a video similar to that for Rise, but it would definitely come once the game is completely out, because in order for me to actually give any real recommendation to any way to actually play these particular weapons, I would need to know what all they could offer as opposed to what they currently offer, because all we have is the demo. I don't even know all the skills. I don't know how all these other things work. I would need to know a lot more before I can actually teach anyone extensive deep dove ways to actually utilize the weapon in its entirety through low, high, and G rank. What I could do is give a general tutorial, if you will, about how the Gunlance has changed and things like that, but I think that kind of coincides with the differences video with the Lance and the Gunlance. We'll throw that up as a comment, as a question, a question I say, but as a question to you guys watching the video right now, would you also want a tutorial? I'll write it down anyway. A tutorial for Lance and Gunlance. I used to do tutorials for a lot of other weapons, but then a lot of those weapons became a lot more confusing, and I only really stuck to Lance and Gunlance. Okay. My man Jorwell. I've known Jorwell for a very long time. We've been friends for a very, very long time. Do a video where you nickname every monster in the Monster Hunter series. That is a fantastic idea. I love that idea. Everyone loves my nicknames for Monster Hunters. Well, for monsters within Monster Hunter. I wouldn't say everyone, but people like that. So we will probably do that video. I think it'd be a very easy video to do. I could sit there and just the name will pop up and I'll read it and give it a nickname on the spot. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Something fun to do. It'd be a lot of laughs in there. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that nickname video. Alright, cool, fantastic. Moving down. Metric Macro says, I would really like your views on Lance and Gunlance and Rise. 1, because I have some strong views of my own I would like to compare, but also 2, because you've been this is a big one for me, the Lance YouTuber for me for years now. So yeah, that would be really cool. You know what, bro? We'll do that. Since I've been an influence to you in any capacity, I will do that for you. We will make that video for sure. Yeah. Oliver, shout out to my man Ollie. I'm too entranced by this amazing Lance skills to hear what yo saying, Dak. 3U content would be cool. So yeah, going back to the video, initially I did say I was gonna actually drop a lot of 3U content, which is still in the works to do. I've been recording on the low. All the underwater fights, the cat's out of the bag. The first video is going to be based on water, the mechanic of water, what it brought, and so on and so forth. So I've been recording all those, all the underwater fights in all the different areas to fight anything underwater, to give you guys a base for the video to look at. And then I'm going to be breaking down a lot of the mechanics and a lot of the things in underwater combat. I won't go over every single thing that every single weapon has, 'cause I don't want the video to be too long. But I will give the general pros and cons to which weapons work the best underwater, and I'll actually utilize different weapons underwater as opposed to just the Lance and the Gunlance, which I'll probably use the most sparingly because they changed the least. So yes, that video will be coming out, and I will also be going over and remastering a lot of the normal monster decks videos, starting with all the actually I don't know which monsters to start. Okay, for those, again, another question to you all. For the monster decks video for 3U that I plan on remastering, 2 questions. 1, do you want me to remaster the entire monster decks? I think it's about 40 or so monsters. Or 2, notable monsters that either never made an appearance outside of the 3rd generation, or just notable monsters in general, like, I don't know, Rathalos and so on. Or notable monster never made out the generation, like the Korapeko, the Steel Urigan, Genmaron, so on and etc. 3U is my favorite title. I've even considered buying a Wii U just to play it in HD. I replied to this saying, I convinced a friend to do that a couple of days ago. I am a menace. Haha. So what it was, my homie Box, he literally was like, I don't know if I should buy a Wii U for just Monster Hunter 3U. And I was like, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I even showed him a couple of places where he can buy the Wii U himself. And he actually did buy the Wii U. And we currently play 3U from time to time. Shoutouts. Give some weapon analysis. I'm game. What's your opinion on the Lance's improved swing? I think the putting focus skill on it would make it a DPS monster. And truth be told, let's look at these replies. If I can just insert myself into this, I also think it would be a DPS boost, but I'm really scared of an image gen striker lance situation. Very good point. I would much rather have a triple poke be stronger, since that just feels more right than just getting a new move to spam instead. And he goes back to basically justify that exact same thing. So my thoughts on this would be this. Image Gen Striker Lance was the literal only lancing styling option that you actually... There were no other ones. You could get away with Guild in a vacuum. You could get away with, I don't know, Adept in a vacuum. But to be honest, the two lancing types, lancing and lance that you use depth with, it would 100% and only really and truly and earnestly be gun lance, because lance already has a counter. Yes, if you use the adept counter, it's 0 stamina depletion and whatnot, but you already had a counter. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And lance really likes to use all its other arts, so there are people who can really justify using the Adept Lance or even the Valor Lance, but honestly, in Generations, it was just Striker Lance. And what he's saying there is, would this new swing, the backhand if you will, replace the 3rd poke? Would you literally only go poke, poke, swing? Now mine uses a charge swing, so it's actually a bit slower. So would you poke, poke, charge swing? Now would this make DPS better? Would it be worse? Who's to say? I will make a, when we go into the Lance video, we'll talk about that for sure. So yeah, we'll talk about the backhand, of course. A 100% MSG run with Prowler only as a series. Yo, Matt Durant, that is an incredibly ambitious idea of doing of a challenge. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I wouldn't completely dismiss what you want me to do, like in its entirety, but like, wow, that's a lot. Because first of all, this is my least favorite video game in the entire Monster Hunter series by quite some margin. Also, 100%. I have never 100% in a Monster Hunter game because I never felt the need to do so. Needless grinding is essentially what that really is, honestly, when you get down to it, because you can get through the main game, sure, but then you have to grind for crowns. No thank you. So unfortunately, Matt, this is not going to happen. This may have just been a joke, a meme for you if anything, but I'm definitely not going to run that. That is way too much juice for me. MH3U is my favorite. Oh, excuse me, Jurassic Game says MH3U is my favorite. We'll love to see more. And there we go. We'll get more. You'll have more of MH3U, of course. MHW and MHW Iceborne Gauntlet. Here's the thing. This game, Rise, doesn't come out until March. And in the perfect world, it would be nice to have the Iceborne and the 4U Gauntlet done before then. But in order for me to do both of those things, I could literally do none of these things that we're talking about now. But we are definitely going to do an Iceborne Gauntlet. Don't you worry, that is 100% going to be a thing. Expect work for the Iceborne Gauntlet to start maybe after I get through the main monster decks for Rise. Which, if everything is working as it should, I did put in a 9-day vacation, I should say, for when Rise comes out. within those 9 days, I like to think that if I'm on my stuff and I have, like, you know, no real other responsibilities, we could probably knock out, if not all, the vast majority of that particular decks in that time, to give way for when we could start doing the Iceborne Gauntlet. So we will do the Iceborne Gauntlet. For those who are wondering who's going to be in it, my entire Discord server is going to be in the Gauntlet. I'll try to put the Discord in the description. So essentially, we're just going to jump in there. Everyone in the Discord is invited. We're just going to have a huge call in the Discord, have a whole lot of fun. We're going to play on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC. So that's that for you guys there. Now moving over, my man Masa whipping flipping it says, left my ass off, play Fighter Z on ranked and make a video for it and see how well it's received. For the culture, of course. Not out of the question. Not out of the question. But I haven't played Fighter Z in a good long time. So Masa, before we do that, you'd have to train me first, okay? But I will write it down. I did say that I want to do more fighting game stuff. I did say that. But I just didn't know exactly in what capacity to do the fighting game stuff. So maybe listening to Masa could actually aid me in getting myself into the fighting game video making scene, if you will. Mostly not just to break into the FGC in terms of videos, but mostly for myself. If I can't do it in a great enough capacity, I don't want to do it. If it's going to be trash, I don't want to jump. I don't want to make something that's not cool. Again, I'm only making stuff that I genuinely feel like is a good video that someone say, hey, I can't wait for this video. I clicked it. I'm going to enjoy myself. I don't just want to like get into a fight and throw it up there and then bam, it's just a fight. There's billions of just people playing the game on YouTube. I don't want to be another drop in the hat. Even though I will be, I want to be a slightly pretentious drop in the hat. But that's just me. Moving over to my man Zero Base Soul. Having Twitch highlight compilation can work as some lax content. Right, hold on, let me hit this. Rise learning Lance review from a true Lance main can make it a serious review, but also a bit memey with some hayucks, I'm guessing. Potentially Rise demo streams on YouTube. That's a good idea. List of games you're looking forward to in 2021, along with promoting you'll stream them. Interesting. Finish the 4U Gauntlet. Cheeky. Off-stream Eunice gameplay, i.e. how them online matches going. So this bit right here ties directly back into this one here. Eunice is another fighting game. The fighting game currently that I've been enjoying the absolute most, however, which is very, very interesting because it's 100% anime and no one ever expects me to like anything anime. And yeah, once I figure out a nice way to actually do that, or a way in which I feel it would be cool, we will definitely make more fighting gameplay stuff. Finishing the 4U Gauntlet I need to do again. The only problem with doing that is that I'm on other people's time. Usually it's just me and Valent, and again, I am on other people's time, but I can get a hold of Valent a lot more easier and quicker than I could to other more notable YouTubers who have their own projects they have to work on as well. So it's a bit nah. So we still need to finish up on it. I need to actually get in contact. If you guys are paying attention right now, yo, not you guys, but if Ryan and Gio are actually, excuse me, Josh is paying attention to this video, hit me up and we should probably finish the 4U Gauntlet sometime before Rise comes out, of course. Solve the mystery of the Island. It is really a monster and we fight Island monsters. Hafid123, Hafid 123. I don't know what you're trying to say there, my guy. I just generally don't understand. If you're watching this, if you could elaborate, that'd be great. Javier or Xavier Martin, make an image WI wow /3U, basically whatever image game fails /wins funny moments. Oh, okay. Make a delete that. Make a whatever image game fails /wins funny moments compilation. I guess this goes towards the whole Twitch thing. Make streaming highlight compilations. We could do that. You know what? Let's just write that down. Let's write that down. Okay. A stream highlight thing would be really cool. That's not too bad. I'm actually okay with that. Eli Balassi says, I love Image 3 too. Absolutely fantastic good game. Fantastically good game, I should say. Hematite76, I'm sorry if I butchered these names, maybe you should make monster ideas of your own. So coming up with fan-made monster ideas or designs possibly, I think I could do that. However, there's a particular person, a very special person to me, that I don't know how much he thinks I mean to him, but he means a great deal to me. My man D Merc. He is an amazing and exceedingly accomplished artist for his age and for his craft, and he constantly grinds, constantly over and over again, drawing dozens of different things of his own volition and things that actually get him to try to do as well. So maybe he could do some of that, or maybe we could do like an art thing in like the Discord server that like, yo guys, come up with your own Monster Hunter videos in Discord. We have like this huge art hype stream where we get behind other people's arts and look at stuff or whatever, kind of compare things. I don't know, just kind of get the community together or something like that. So maybe community art stream. Let's just write that down. Okay. It's a bit different than what you've uploaded before, but what about like branching out to other games while not leaving image behind though? Games you think are fun / popular games, VR or normal, or maybe you can get suggestions from fans. I think this could be fun and new. Well, Daniel, 50-50 what this video is about. Playing games that are fun. See, for me, this is it for me. Games you think are fun. Now, games that I think are fun versus games that are popular, I don't like. Because popular games, if you guys been paying any attention at all to the massive part of the right hand of the screen, has been like Minecraft and like stuff like Roblox. And I've been seeing a lot of them, honestly. Pokemon openings and things like that, which are huge for whatever reason now. And I did see, yeah, there's Minecraft again. Did I see, oh, there's more Minecraft. Yeah, there's Pokemon. Yeah. There's Among Us. I was waiting for the Among Us video. But the thing is, I usually don't like going for the popular games. I just like the games that are fun. So if the popular game just has to be fun, sure. So we can also branch out to other games. I am not opposed to branching out to other games. We can totally do this. It would just be figure out what game that would actually be, which I don't necessarily know what it could be, because I'm always at this weird pass where I don't know what will be good enough for you guys to enjoy versus me also enjoy making. So like if I don't enjoy playing and making videos for it, or if I don't think you guys are going to enjoy the videos themselves, then I probably won't go ahead on and do it, because I don't want to necessarily waste my time and waste yours as well. But it's never out of the question or the realm of possibility, you know, to branch out to other games. I used to actually have 3 games we used to play on the channel. It used to be Monster Hunter, Armored Core, and Call of Duty. I was into all 3 of those games equally, and I had equal fan bases for all 3. And it was fantastic. It'd be fantastic to go back to another pillar system where I could actually fall back on different games and actually have a pretty decent following in either of them. So that way it'd be a nice break from one to the other. If I wanted to actually say, hey, I'm gonna stop playing Image for a little bit, focus more on COD, or focus more on COD, and you know, just bounce between games, you know, to not burn myself out, which is a huge issue I'm facing right now with Monster Hunter. So finding that game that I think is fun. Usually the games I think is fun are games I can play with you guys. So I need to find a cooperative game, or maybe a competitive game that I could play with you all, or just have fun with. It's definitely something I'm working on, but trust me, I'm trying to find that next game to play on the channel, of course, definitely. Try a game called Apex Legends that's popular. Going back to what I said here, popular and fun. If it's fun to me, I'll play. If it's popular and not fun to me, I will not play it. I've played Apex Legends. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of the game. It's still another battle royale extravaganza, and I absolutely cannot stand battle royales. So we're just not going to do that on the channel. I just don't want to see myself go through that anymore. I played it a little bit, and it's still just not my cup of tea. I've yet to play a particular battle royale that is my cup of tea. I would know because I have a cup of tea right here. Okay. And he said he has the perfect game for me, which was Apex Legends. Unfortunately, it was not the perfect game for me. I despised it, actually. Okay, Incompetent Nerd says, I wanna see a vid on Rise to World to OGen control styles. That's an interesting video. that is an interesting video, and it's also the reason why I stopped playing other weapon types. Everyone knows me to be the lance guy, but in the beginning when I started playing, I played every single weapon type and was competent with each and every single one of them until the 4th generation came and started disrupting things to the point to where it was a bit more difficult to just be very good at all of them, where at that time I said, let me just focus on just a couple and just leave it at that. But as the generations got on, they added more things to each weapon. I just kind of never upkept my knowledge on these things, so I just kind of pushed to the wayside. But nevertheless, going back to make a video about the old control styles, I could still do that for the weapons that I used to play. Lance gun, lance, and greatsword. Lance gun, lance, greatsword, dual blades. Lance gun, lance, greatsword, dual blades was hunting horn, but hunting horn is a little different now. But we could see that old school control styles. It could be a short video, nothing long, nothing grandiose, just really quick. So let's go. How about I write this down? New to old. Yeah, new to old controls. Which will probably just evolve into like how the lance itself has changed, or how the lance itself has changed over the coming years and so on. Alec Nov, I apologize. He says, play with other YouTubers like Raging Gaming Videos, Josh, and Cotton. Or try making your videos funny, talk more, just be the funny guy. Or start another RPG game. Okay, so here's my thing. In my truest form, this is me. Okay, this is me. This is Dak. This is Dak in his truest form. Medium to relatively lowish type of energy. I'm actually not a funny person. No one really thinks that I'm really that funny. Every now and then I can hype myself up, like I have a big breakfast, I have a good day. Whenever I do the low rank gear challenge videos, if I'm having a great day, a great morning, everything's going great, I'm like, I'm feeling myself, you know, I'm feeling, you know, a little some, you know, I'll make those videos. I got that energy, it's all about the way I feel. But it's not necessarily fake, it's just me excited, energetic, and all those things. Just that's an energetic, excited kind of person. But in the norm, Dak, me myself, I'm a very laid back, relaxed kind of guy. So making things funny is a very subjective thing. Some people think I'm funny. I don't think I'm funny at all. So I just let it happen. I don't ever want to try and be funny. Trying to be the funny guy is the most cringiest thing on the planet. There are thousands, if not millions, of YouTubers out there that try to be something that they're not. I don't ever want to try to be something that I'm not. I'm not saying that those are bad people for just doing that, but I don't ever want to be something that I know deep down that's not what I am. You know what I mean? I don't want to try to be someone that I'm not. I don't want to try to be the funny guy when I don't really think that I am. So it's not. I'm not throwing shade again, Alec. I'm not. I'm just saying that I couldn't, in good conscience, make these videos and even reap the benefits of properly like blowing up massively, and know that I'm like so fake on the inside to myself. Now, there's other people I know out there like Dr. Disrespect. I'm going to bring this up because I'm gonna hit you with a little bit of YouTube lore. I remember Dr. Disrespect before he became what everyone knows him to be right now. He used to do this thing a long time ago back in Modern Warfare 2 called The Bleeding Scar. It was a video series where he, again, did this relatively over-the-top editing on a lot of his videos. He had the mullet and everything. He would really dive deep into his character and do those videos. Literally, we know that he was literally, I think he was FPS Kyle or something at the time. He was someone else. He was someone else that was also in the Call of Duty community, but he doubled as Dr. Disrespect. Now, if I was to make Dak, if I was to make Dak 908 a character and do that, totally different. But essentially, Dak 908 is an alias to just me, who I actually am. So if I was ever to do that, I could see myself doing something along the lines of that. But as it stands, not so much. It's not to say it's a bad idea. It's just that I couldn't see myself doing it within the same exact channel. You know what I mean? That's also all I'm getting at here. But playing with other YouTubers like Rage Gaming Videos, Josh / Cotton, I would love to play with Rage Gaming Videos. I really would. About a couple years ago, there was this huge controversy where someone found out that he was using a lot, and I mean a lot, of my footage for his videos. And I think it was he wasn't crediting me in the video or in the comments, or excuse me, the description or whatever. initially I didn't really care too much about it, but a lot of my constituents, they saw and they were like, no, you need to fight for your right to, you know, have your stuff or whatever. And all it really boiled down to eventually was like, whenever he needed footage, instead of him going and getting old footage, I would supply him with fresh, brand new footage for his talking points. And that was it. We had a little bit of discussion. We talked a little bit. Haven't really talked since then. It's been quite some time. I think the last thing I actually did for him was upload some Amatsu gameplay. So I think the last time he spoke about Amatsu, which was probably 2 years ago. He probably talked about it since then, but he talked about it, and he used some of my footage that I gave him explicitly for that video. Was the last time I believe we actually spoke. But I could try and reach out to him, see if we can actually collaborate, do a video or two or something like that. We could do that. So let's do collaborations for the new year, 2021 collabs. So let's call it 2021 collabs. That was very winded and I apologize. But moving over, Nipple Technology 2060 says one-off ideas and probably takes long to make, but comparing MH games, an MH Rise review, or a review of a previous MH game. So comparing MH games, this isn't something that I'm against. This is not something that I'm against, and it's something that we could potentially do. But when comparing MH games, you're almost comparing apples to oranges here, because usually generational shifts are so grand that it's a completely different game. But there's still comparisons to make, which wouldn't be too bad to do. So this probably goes back to my... Oh no, I don't think I actually did that. Oh wait, it could go with the where would I write it down? The new to old controls thing, where we compare the old controls and new controls. So we could make it a relative series of comparing old to new. So we could just call it old to new series, where we compare not just the games but mechanics, weapons, so on and so forth. So we'll call that old to new series. All right. Or review of previous Monster Hunter games. People really like reviews to Monster Hunter. If we're gonna review any Monster Hunter game, I'm reviewing the 3U for sure. Okay, so Soup Jaggy says, have you ever played any older MH games like before 3U? Yes, sir, I have. You can give that a try and make videos on them. Do a playthrough of a Pokemon, or Pokemon videos. Make a bunch of tier lists, kind of like redoing your top 10s, which is something that I very much need to do. Make a bunch of Rise content and stream it once it releases. Stream night when people can join you to get help with older games like 4U, Gen U, World Hunts and stuff. Do game reviews of the games you've played within the last year or two. That's actually really cool. I think you were playing Golden Sun or something, right? And a year ago you played Fire Red, I think. Maybe get into Monster Hunter speedrunning. I don't know if I could. I literally am not good enough to do this. My skill in Monster Hunter is not good enough to do this. My ability in Monster Hunter is just teaching people who have no ability to have adequate ability to play the game and have an enjoying time to do so. When it comes to learning the 100% particulars to monster behaviors, not outside of the monster behavior itself, but more so its programming and its AI, I unfortunately just don't have the aptitude for that. So I don't know if I can get into Monster Hunter speedrunning, but it's never out of the question. I'm always down to try something new. It would be something I would try not early in the year, but maybe later on. Other than that, make what you enjoy, since it's better to have a video that you enjoy than get tired out of making stuff you don't have any interest in. So Soup Jaggy, let me give a huge shout out to Soup Jaggy. He's been around the channel for a while. He's always dropped very good gems for me. There's been a lot of times where I just didn't know what to do, and he always comes through with like a lot of great criticism, a lot of great critiques and things like that. He's a blessing. He or she, they are a blessing. Let's just say that they are a blessing. So we could try making old videos. We're starting with 3U because I kind of feel like making videos for the older games would be a bit more difficult to make. I would have to go into emulators and such because I don't have the original hardware or the means to actually record from the original hardware. And I don't really like recording emulators too much because there's a lot of issues with that, but I'll still try if we can get around to doing that. But we could play some of the older games. We'll see. I could try my like Dak Reacts or me playing it and kind of getting my general view of it or whatever. We could just review it or something. Or I don't know. We could do old stuff. Pokemon videos. Okay, first playthroughs. I've done a couple of playthroughs. My problem with playthroughs is that I want to play through the game in as little sit downs as possible, as quick as possible, because I have a very, very, very smooth brain. So I'll forget where I am, and like when I come back to it, it'll just be weird. So I don't know if I'll probably end up doing a playthrough. But I do like Pokemon videos, believe it or not. I do like that. I need to probably look at what Pokemon YouTube is doing to see what's actually kind of interesting, and we could maybe do Pokemon videos. So let's write down Pokemon videos, question mark. And that could be something we do there. Redo the top 10s, or so let's just do top 10s. Redo as well. I really do need to redo some of those top 10s and stuff. We're gonna make a bunch of Rise content for sure. Stream it once it releases, of course. Stream night when people can join. Yeah, we do that. So basically, yeah, okay. His reply, my boy Man's Dak's favorite game is Image3. Where have you been? LOL. It's actually Try, but 3 is the one that still has online. Now, shout out to the biggest homie that I have, Amper Camper. This is a wholesome fellow. I actually went to New York to go see him. He used to live in New York. He didn't live in New York anymore, but when I went to New York a couple years back, I went to go and see him. However, New York is a very intimidating place, so I actually never got a chance to go and see him, because he was like, dude, just take the train. I'm like, bro, the train is crazy. So I didn't get to see him. We will meet up again, we will meet up again, Ambi. We will meet up again. But here we go. Hey homie, thinking a lot here, but these could be extremely searchable. Is it worth playing XX Monster Hunter in 2021? New to Monster Hunter, question mark, watch this, tips and tricks. Should I buy a Nintendo Switch for Monster Hunter Rise? Oh, actually, this was a question directly aimed at me, actually. Should I buy a Nintendo Switch for Monster Hunter Rise? And we spoke about this. Now, here's the thing. I love Amper Camper. My man, Ampy, is one of my favorite humans out there. One thing I used to do, but don't like doing anymore because of my moral affliction, is make clickbait stuff, extremely searchable type things. I don't know. I will write it down. I'm literally gonna write down as clickbait because I remember it as such. But I usually don't like doing that because I don't want to sucker people into watching my video. I want people to click on it with genuine wholeheartedness and curiosity versus it's the flavor of the month kind of thing. But I don't know, sometimes you kind of have to do that. You have to play the game sometimes, you know. You gotta find that gray area. You can't be lawful good all the time. So as someone who I respect, I genuinely really respect this human being as much as possible, I will definitely give it a look-see, I should say. Now, Lone Wolf Nergigante, imagine if they make remastered versions of the old Nintendo DS MH games. Now, I did speak on this again. I was like, excuse me, there was DS Monster Hunter games? And it's like, oh no, the 3DS ones. Sorry if I confused you. Let me hit him with a like there. I don't want to feel like I was mad at him or anything like that, but that could be a talking point. Talking point videos are actually really fun. So let's actually do it. Talking point videos where like you just sit back and just, hey, what if they did this? Basically, what if videos, you know what I mean? Where you say, hey, what if they did this? And then you kind of have a spiel to it. And then you just go on, carry on a couple of random ideas you had just cooped up in your head and say, hey guys, I'm just spitballing here. What do you think? I kind of like that. I used to do those videos all the time, but I stopped. So, we'll go from there. Hold on. Hide the replies. Open them up. Colt Gunner. Okay, I was thinking the same, but for the original game, makes you wonder if Capcom will bring those stuff back. Okay, he's replying back to him. All right, cool. Image3U monster tier list. Yes. Yes. Did I do that? I'm pretty sure I did do that, but yes. Arun Knights says you can make videos about other games or talk about more opinion-like stuff, which we just talked about, opinion-based things, like talking point videos. I didn't actually write that all the way down. Talking point vids. Like what maps you like or how a weapon has changed over the games, like how Lance in MH1 is different from Lance in MH Rise. This is an incredibly good comment. It had so many, I mean, we've since gone through and talked about all these exact things on these other comments, but for whatever reason, this one is essentially everything that I needed and pretty much have written down in one comment. That's awesome. Thank you. We are definitely going to run this. Okay, we're running these ideas for sure. Marcus Gale, you should make an image rise wishlist video. Would be interesting to see what you want from the game. I like that. I like that. That's a very good idea. It has a lot of upvotes too. That is a really good idea. So I have a lot of opinions, a lot of controversial opinions that some might say, but opinions nonetheless. And I'm curious to see what they could potentially actually come up with if I were to just say, yo, what if, you know, and they actually make that a thing. So that's cool. I'm out for that. Thornberry Gaming, another person that I respect a lot, another person who gives me lots of good criticisms, comes in and checks out all my videos and so on and so forth. I will love a video comparing OG Urigan. He said this before, actually. I will love a video comparing OG Urigan to New World Urigan to hear your opinions on which one you prefer. Very good idea. To be honest, I just want to hear you gush about Urigan. What a guy. On that note, you could do a series of comparisons of the old and new world versions of multiple monsters because that's a great idea. Thornberry. So Tom, Jarman, and Thornberry. Yes. Monster comparisons, old and new. We can throw that back in the old to new. Can we? Do you think we could do that to the alternate? The old to new? Yeah, old to new series. I'm actually very excited about this whole old to new series thing because we can do literally everything. So that's fun. And that's it for all the comments. So for those of you who commented, I greatly appreciate your generous contributions. It means the world to me. I mean, I wouldn't have done this hour-long talking session to you guys had I not decided to do so, if it did mean that much to me. And it really does. So we have a grand amount of things here. I will save that in my phone, and we'll go through and make some new and engaging videos in the days to come. Again, thank you so much for watching. It was a very long video, and if you have a comment or something you want to add to all this, please comment down below, and we'll get to that as soon as I can. I probably won't make another video like this unless for whatever reason you guys dropped like 100 comments about more ideas and stuff, and we will probably have to make another one and just kind of sift through them as well. But nevertheless, I had acquired a lot of really good ideas out of this video. Thank you guys so much again. We have a lot to go through. Which ones will be first, second, third, and so on is to be seen. So yeah, thank you for the ideas because I had zero, and let's get to work. With that being said, it's been your boy. Take care.